Never mind, forget it.
No, I forgot. I'll just read it. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your life, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. You shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the post of your house and on your gate. Shema, 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 Yahuwah, Eloheinu,
Don't do that.
This is Shabbat. This is Shabbat. And God has made. And God has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice. And be glad in it. And be glad in it. This is Shabbat. And God has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is Shabbat. This is Shabbat. And God has made. This is Shabbat. This is Shabbat. And God has made. And God has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. This is Shabbat that God has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is Shabbat. This is Shabbat that God has made.
That God has made.
That God has made. One more time, who made it? That God has made. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim, for He has done so very much for me. He has taken all my sins and He poured His Spirit in. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim, for He has done so very much for me. He has taken all my sins and He poured His Spirit in. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. For He has done so very much for me. He has taken all my sins and He poured His Spirit in. I love Yahuwah, Yahuwah, my King. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. I love Yahuwah. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. Come on, who do you love? I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. One way to Yah. One way to Yah. One way to Yah. Baptized in Yahuwah's Spirit. From the side. One way to Yah. One way to Yah. One way to Yah. Baptized in Yahuwah's Spirit. One way to Yah. One way to Yah. One way to Yah. Baptized in Yahuwah's Spirit. Baptized in Yahuwah's Spirit. Baptized in Yahuwah's Spirit. Baptized in Yahuwah's Spirit.
Nope, it's 5.
Yes, Proverbs 5. Proverbs 5.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Yes, bless Shabbat.
Today's reading will be out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 5. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thy ear unto my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell, lest thou shalt ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O you children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not at the door of her house. Lest thou give thy honor, lest thou give thy honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Let strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink waters out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thy own, and not a stranger's with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant growth. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before eyes of Yahuwah, and he pondereth all his goings. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, go to our class reading. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29. Chapter 29, verses 24, start at verse 24. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath Yahuwah done this unto this land? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahuwah Elohim of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Mizraim. For they went and served other idols and worshipped them, idols whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against this land, to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. And Yahuwah rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation, and cast them into another land as it is to this day. The secret things belong unto Yahuwah our Elohim, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Chapter 30. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether Yahuwah thy Elohim has driven thee, and shalt return unto Yahuwah thy Elohim, and shalt obey his voice according to all that command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That then, when Yahuwah thy Elohim will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations where the Yahuwah thy Elohim has scattered thee. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Great week this week.
Oh, yes.
All right. Some
Little mishap. That's what them wheels to bring.
Yep, stuff, things happen. Some things are just unavoidable.
Oh, yes.
But one thing for sure, though, is always another day.
Yes.
Always another day. So we are 1 week away from our Black History series. I'm telling y'all, ain't nobody gonna have a Black History biblical series like the one we got coming up. Guaranteed, guaranteed edification all around, y'all. So invite people to tune in on YouTube, check it out. It's 7 parts to our Black History, who are the children of Israel, and how do they fit into biblical prophecy. That's the name of this year. That's the name of this year. Man, I'm still studying, still researching. But today's gonna be a short one. A short one, y'all. I would have did something else today, to be honest with you. I prepared to do something else today. But since half of our people not here today, I said, well, I ain't gonna do that. So I'll wait till after Black History to do that. You know that one time when we all did a verse? And not that I can remember. I wish I could find the video for it, man. But that was a special thing. That was beautiful. I need to look. Yeah. Yeah.
I was new.
Right. Yes. We hadn't done that in a while, man. We need to do that again. I was gonna do it today, man. But like I said. So instead of that today, man, we're gonna do a lesson that I did. Entitled The Few. Oh, this is fitting for today too. The few, the elect, the remnant. The few, the elect, the remnant. Every time I think about this lesson, I think about how we used to be in the library every Shabbat. We used to be in the library doing class every Shabbat. And the library didn't cost us anything to be there. But it's like the father had told me, he said, that's well and good, but if you're gonna be the true people of YAH, man, you got to stop depending on the resources that are supplied to you by the public. Everybody else serves their God, they're able to have a place. But Israelites as a whole, man, we be dependent on free this and home Bible classes and all type of stuff like that because we're not doing our due diligence. So almost in an instant, I remember, what was that, a Friday morning? Or was that a Shabbat morning? I can't remember which one it was. Which one was it? Tom, do you remember?
What said it again?
When I had woke up and I was like, damn, we can't do this like this no more. And I went on Craigslist and I said, you know what, we got to find a spot.
I might have been Sunday.
Yeah. Here's the thing. When I did that, it was only really 4 of us that was coming to class, basically.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
4?
It was me, you, Cynthia, and Tress. Oh, and Andrea, right. And my thing is just, I'm like, I don't know the father to say, hey, you don't sit here and be waiting till you get 10, 15, 20 people to do something that you should be able to do. And I admit I was a little bit better financially than I am now. Yeah, but it was what it was. I wasn't like rich, but I was, just a little bit financial. I was able to do this. So I saw the ad for this place, came here, talked to the guy. He told me about the place. I said, man, look, we want this place. He said, okay. I said, no, I mean, we really want this place. We want this place like right now, like immediately. And that's all it was. So we had our last class at the library. After class, I told them this is our last class at the library, y'all. That's Shabbat, being our own place. So the reason why I'm saying that, because it fits into this lesson about the few, the elect, and the remnant. I live in Jacksonville. I've been here since 2003. on and off, I've been other places, you know. We had left here 2010, the end of 2009, beginning of 2010. Went to Orlando, and Moray Kazak, he had introduced me to the brother there, and they had a little home Bible study class. So we went there, you know, went there within the danger of our lives. We found out that everybody was packing but us.
Really? Oh, wow.
We were just talking about something that we just had to bring up about, I guess, guns and everything. I don't know what it was. But everybody in there was packing and stuff. I say everybody, was about 8 or 9 of us in there. But pretty soon, you know, I started teaching there consistently there, you know. And we had some ups and downs there in Orlando, but no messing good people there. But the Spears had come on back to Jacksonville. Had to come back to Jacksonville. Came back here, and that's when we started. Matter of fact, it was we were in the process of starting, but then when Cynthia contacted me, I don't know who Cynthia was. Hit me up an email, I think.
Yes,
I said, oh man, okay, here we go. We're gonna do it. You know? But the point is that some people think that you need a whole big crowd of people to have a congregation or class or whatever. No, it don't work like that, because the truth. Tell me something that what's your pastor used to say about that?
What?
Concerning a big class or whatever.
Oh, usually there's a lot of people there, there's not a lot of truth.
When there's a lot of people there, there's not a lot of truth, right? Because the average person is just not attracted to the raw and uncut truth. You know why? Why do you think the average person is not attracted to the raw and uncut truth?
Because it makes them responsible.
Oh, I couldn't even say it no better than how she said it. I'm trying to formulate my answer, but she said it just like that. Because it makes you responsible. That's the thing. If I could come into a place and I hear exactly what I want to hear, get a little knowledge or whatever, and rejoice and be glad. But if I be having the finger pointed at me, then I don't, you know, that ain't the type of truth I really want to hear. And that's the reason why people can't accept truth, period. Because they know that there is a responsibility with shalom. I'm worried about you, glad you came through. Responsibility and truth. It's almost like Satan tells them that. Like it don't be like a parent thing. It be something like deep seated within them. You know, like
They don't want to face themselves.
yeah. Man, I know if I come there, man, they're gonna start talking about my shrimp, my lobster and everything. So I don't want to. I deal with that on my own. I don't want to be hearing about that, you know. And that's basically what it is. You would think that people, and every last one of us, I dare anybody to say different. That when you first was exposed to truth, you was hyped enough to be trying to tell everybody about this truth. Huh? Because you thought like, hey, huh?
Well, I was going to say I was hyped enough to want to say it, but I knew a conviction wouldn't allow me to say it because I knew I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
I got deep. You got deep.
Okay.
I can't tell them about his, and I'm still doing it.
Hey,
I had no.
so there's some conviction somewhere in the game, and I can definitely appreciate that. Now, you know, you got that little, what's the word? That little thorn in your flesh that will keep your tongue silent until you can get that squared away. Sometimes even you don't get that squared away. So it's like the sword seeds. Matter of fact, I'm going to start off with that. Somebody find that for me. That's Matthew, the book of Matthew. I didn't have this in this lesson, but I'm going to start off right with that. Sword seeds. So that's where the Father was taking me to. something? That's a very good place to start. Let me see.
13.
That's all right.
Go
I
ahead.
had it in my mind, but it just wouldn't get out there. All right, so we're gonna start this again. This is the few, the elect, the remnant. Let's start at Matthew the 13th chapter and start that with verse 1. Wait a minute, hold up 1 second. Oh yeah, good. Go ahead. Matthew 13 and verse 1.
The same day went Yeshua out of the house and sat by the seaside, and a great multitude were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up.
See, now that's deep there.
Mhm.
Because throughout our walk, man, sometimes we be sowing them seeds. When you sow them seeds, man, you hate to think that this time that I'm spent trying to sow this seed is in vain. Right? But the master told us right here, he said, hey, some of them seeds fell by the wayside, and them birds came and just devoured them up. That's that work that you put in. But yet and still, they will devour it up. May not be no fault of your own, it's just that some people cannot handle these seeds.
You cannot handle the truth.
That's right, they can't handle it. They can't handle it. When it speaks contrary to what you're dealing with and what you really love, and you have to make that choice. And most people choose to not deal with it. So the fowls came and devoured it up. Go ahead.
Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness in earth.
Look at I liking that too, y'all. Stony places.
Like being around familiar people.
Hmm?
Like being around familiar people.
Okay.
And you get the word, you get around the people, but they be like, oh, they don't know if I want to tell them because they might look at me funny.
Or stubborn.
That's funny that you would say it like that. In my mind, I think about being around unfamiliar people.
But
The reason why I'm saying that is because of the fact that I'm not from Jacksonville, Florida. Because a lot of time congregations usually start when people are from here and they got old friends here and they join and they got a family and the whole family join in or something like that. That's how congregations are usually built. But when you're from a whole other place, you come to a brand new place, especially Jacksonville, Florida, man, this is actually one of the worst when it comes down to that. Because even though this is the biggest geographical city in the whole continental 48, huh? One of what? No, it ain't no. What you mean one
It
of?
used to be the biggest.
What's the biggest now?
I don't know, but it's not the biggest.
Oh, yes, it is.
You talking about in square miles?
Yeah.
Yeah, square miles, not in people population.
No, I know that. I looked it up. It said it used to be number one. It's another one.
All right. I don't think it is.
Okay.
Unless they
I don't
added,
think
I
it
don't know
is.
how they.
I'm pretty sure this. Because when Jacksonville got
I used to think that it's in the
Jacksonville.
top 3, I think.
Well, they got when Duval became coincided Jacksonville, whatever. That's what made the whole place grow in terms of land.
Yeah, they but go ahead, finish it.
Right. But in terms of mentality, though, and no, I'm not saying
Don't
this.
be hating.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this would be demeaning, but it's still a small town mentality
Mm-hmm.
here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes.
People that know each other, neighborhoods know each other, whatever, they have sort of a foundation that
Right.
somebody is not from here, they kind of like, they don't take to new people as easily as cities like Miami or Atlanta or places places like that, it's a whole different dynamic.
With the stony places, it just seems to me like someone that's more of an unbeliever or didn't have a basis of religion. That's grew up, you either was Baptist or Muslim or 7 Day.
And see, that's the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because stony is a kind of a mentality. And that's the reason why I'm saying it. The way I'm saying it, as far as not being accepting of anything outside, that's the reason why I said it like
Got that.
Right.
Gotcha.
I think worldly would be a good way. Looking at it like we are the world, we saying, okay, it's cool. We are mind with everybody thinks. We respect all these agendas. You know, if he wants to be a woman, he is a one. We just world, we just you know, just stone. It's like whatever you say to us, we hear it, but it's not taking root.
Right.
Everything that's going on.
That's the whole thing. Stony is like you're hard driven into your way of life.
Right.
My scripture says rocky, and I think that makes a little more sense because you go back and forth. So rocky means you could.
I don't think that's what that's talking about. I think that is just another way of saying stony.
Yeah, well, rocky, but.
Well, rocky is a good definition.
Yeah, but I don't think by definition
that's not what they
it's
mean by
saying. Yeah.
But the analogy of it,
Yeah.
you know, being wishy-washy like a boat going back and forth.
I tell you what, I want you to read that whole passage. Read that whole verse. I'm pretty sure it's saying.
Verse
And
5.
others fell on rocky places where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up because they had no depth of soil.
Right, so it don't mean like that rocky at all.
Right, not.
It means hard, like it's like firm. You can't really get the word in nowhere at all because it's solid. Is what that's
Somebody
Like a
who's
rock.
Right.
stubborn or something.
Stubborn, right?
Okay, that's better.
I'm a gardener, and if it's rocks, it ain't gonna grow because it ain't got no soil.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
So if it's rocky, that means that it's not soil enough there for anything to actually penetrate and grow in the dirt.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Right.
I like that was better.
Well, you
I
know,
know.
I think that when we keep reading, something's gonna be more closer to your rocky than this verse. Watch. Go ahead.
And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who have ears to hear, let them hear.
And man, that good ground, Jack. Wow. But that's she just saying that just the different types of seeds that are planted, the different types of ground that the seeds fall on. All right. Go ahead. Oh, he said, "Who have ears to hear, let him hear." I like that. Go ahead, verse 10.
And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them.
That's a good question. I like that. Because that's what he did. He spoke in parables. And that's really a good question because I'm not a person of parables. I'm a person of being raw and uncut. But for whatever reason, and I can relate to that, the disciples like, dude, you got to stop it with these parables.
Make it plain.
Right. Make it plain. So that's how they came to him. Man, what's the meaning of these parables, man? Go ahead.
And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
Wow.
For whatsoever has to him shall be given, and he shall have no more abundance.
Have more abundance.
But whosoever hath not, from him shall it be taken away, even that he have.
Wow.
Therefore speak I unto them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled by the prophet Isaiah, which says, by hearing you shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see and shall not perceive.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? The stuff that we plainly know, the average person finds it very hard to understand, right?
Or even comprehend.
Or understand and comprehend. Y'all speaking the same exact language. Ain't speaking no different language, but that spirit within them determines their level of being able to understand. So he's saying, and I don't know, them people there must have been a different type of people. We ain't even got to do the parable thing. And it's still no understanding. It's crazy. He said, therefore speak out of them in parables, because they see and see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, by hearing you shall hear, shall not understand, and seeing you shall see, shall not perceive. Why? Verse 15.
For this people's heart is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
Man, we're going to read the same thing in another place at the end of this. But yep. But this people's heart is wax gross. The heart is what's not allowing them to comprehend. Man, their ears are dull of hearing. Their eyes, they have closed, lest at any time they should see. And these ain't talking about just non-religious people, too. Some of these people have a religion. Some of these people believe with all their heart that they're close to God, that God loves me, God hears me in my prayers and all of that. Because that's what we all want to believe. The Father has a formula for that exists. And unless you adhere to that formula, it won't happen. Right? I could be on my job, and I could sit on my job and I complain, man, this is a true complaint too. I ain't making no money, y'all. I'm not making no money, man. But unless I do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna be stuck and not making money. Ain't no way around it. I could wish for it, I could do all types of stuff, but unless I do that I have to do to make more money, I'm gonna continue wishing day after day. Okay, so that's how that goes. The truth is not in some wishful pie in the sky thing that you just want to fall in your lap. It's like if you unemployed and you complain about being unemployed, but yeah, you ain't putting in no applications nowhere, no job nowhere. Ain't no job gonna fall out the sky for you just because you believe in your heart that it's coming. Just don't work like that, sadly. Go ahead.
But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Hallelujah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? That's a salam moment right there. He say all these prophets that we quote, that was in the spirit of YAH. He say they have desired to see those things which you see, and they have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them, because it wasn't for their time. Like Daniel was one of them. Daniel was saying a whole bunch of stuff, and then at the end he asked the question, and the Spirit said, "Look, Daniel, go your way, because all this thing that I done had you to write down and teach it ain't for you. You're gonna go stand in your lot until the end of days." So Daniel, he said a lot of stuff, but you didn't understand everything. It's like John, the Revelator. He said a whole bunch of stuff, but it wasn't for him to understand all that was given for him to do. And we here on this side of it, we seeing stuff unfold almost on a daily basis. Like, man, they said this stuff, and here I am. I had to be the one living to see this stuff. Man, where we at?
Verse 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside.
Mm-hmm. Man, bro, I don't understand how in 2024, and that what this is, 2024,
Oh, no.
man, we don't have the technology to eat pork to make the pork right, healthy for us. I don't really understand that. You know, I think the term is that it's evil reasoning. Huh? That's what that is, evil reasoning. You know how good that stuff be sounding to other people? Man, you know, back in the day, they didn't have refrigerators and stuff like that to make pork, you know. And all that. Back in the day, they didn't have the knowledge to understand how tasty shrimp was.
Actually, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They give it to you.
Yeah, but that's was us reasoning with our mind,
They would always
so we
like
can
it.
justify eating that stuff and doing a whole lot of other things that's contrary to it. But that's what happened. He says that we don't understand it. Like somebody could be sitting right here, and it's like I hear it, I read it, but I don't really understand it. Then they walk out of here, no understanding. Then the wicked one comes, bro. You trying to deal with that stuff again, man. You trying to deal with that stuff again. You just wasting your time. Just wasting your time. Because some people, I'm going to say everybody, but some of us have a hard time in the whole dynamic of learning, you know? And that's why here we like to keep it open so that nothing is said here or read here that goes past anybody's understanding. You know, that's why when you have some teachers there, you know, and I'm just saying to show how smart they are and say, you see now you got that word sword there. In the Greek, the word sword,
no.
the word sword, I'm like, okay, but what's the point of you telling me what
Right.
you said in Greek or in it don't
The
even
Hebrew
add,
word
right.
everything.
Right, and in the Hebrew, you find this word here, like, okay, bro, unnecessary, you know. So the point is that and it's not supposed to be like that. It's just supposed to be, you know, there's no with all you're getting, how do I say?
With all y'all getting understanding.
Yeah, there's another word that's in there that I'm missing. Or another place says get wisdom and get understanding.
Yeah, get wisdom.
Right.
And all you're getting,
Get understanding. Go after. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Because if you ain't got no understanding, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of me talking if somebody's listening to me and not understanding what I'm saying.
Right.
Like I say, I always quote my mom. I can't quote a lot of what she said, but one thing she's always, I don't know where she even got that from. She said, understanding is the best thing in the world.
Oh yeah, you can't assume everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when one hear the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catch away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receiveth seed by the wayside. 20.
But he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and not with joy receiveth it, yet have he not root in it himself, but endures for a while. But when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended.
Wow. That's kind of goes to your Rocky, Andrea.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. See, something for everybody here. Verse
That was
20.
very thoughtful of you.
Verse 20 day. I ain't writing. Verse 22.
He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. But he that receives seed unto the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some of 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
And when he says understanding it in that point, he don't mean that that person was smarter than the first person. He just didn't mean that that person did their due diligence. Okay, I didn't quite get it the way you said it right there. Could you give it to me in another kind of way to make me really understand it? That's due diligence right there. Some of us find that to be a hard thing to do, right? Some of us be thinking that it's embarrassing to ask a question, especially when they know my disposition. But my disposition notwithstanding, I really do try to be very easily intriguing and making people understand things, especially people that I don't know. I don't deal with that with people that I don't know. It'd be just the people I know that kind of make me kind of take a deep breath first. Be like, okay.
This is your house.
Maybe 12's having a bad day on this. I had to get you before you got me.
How do you handle it if they say, "Oh, that sounds like a cult"?
Huh?
When you try to give them the truth, they always say that's a cult.
Absolutely. I say, well, look, we keep reading these words, we'll find that that's who Yahshua was talking to, a cult. See, let's look at that for a minute. There is a perception that exists. First of all of us here was born into a system. We was all born into a system. And we accepted the system because we was born into it. So I come to you and say, you know, the new year don't really begin until March. You're either gonna be like, oh, really? Prove it to me. Or, man, what cult you a part of? Huh? The Israelites are actually the people that came over here on slave ships. Oh, man, what cult you a part of?
What camp?
Huh? No, we did it with cult, those
Okay,
specific.
Yeah.
Because why? Because you wasn't born into that system of understanding. So, just like I did a Facebook ad with what we're dealing with in February, and I've had these people come on, and one dude asked me that, I didn't even respond to him. I don't erase unless it's really, really offensive. Yeah. But if it's something that, you know, what code is this or whatever, you can read it right now and say, I didn't give no answer to it. Because I'm like, okay, well, that's your mentality. I'm like, you come on somebody else's thing and say, what code is this? Like we said, oh, we're not a code. I don't have time for that. I don't. I just, whatever, dude, whatever. But the point is that it comes from the fact that we all were born into a system and we were easily indoctrinated with the dynamic that anything that's different from this is deemed to be a cult. But Yahshua, the followers of Yahshua, were cultists. Because people on the outside like, man, wait a minute now. Y'all saying this dude is the Messiah, this, that, the other. You know, who are y'all? What are y'all? Whatever, you know. And they were considered at that time to be, quote unquote, a cult.
It went against the system.
Huh?
It went against the system.
Right, it went against the system. But
people, I would just say people find comfort to go along with the majority.
right, that's right. That's right. That's absolutely correct.
That's what we're indoctrinated,
Mhm.
go along with the majority.
Mhm.
And anything that's a minority, they look at as a cult.
Right. Then y'all happen to see the Book of Clarence this week? No. And y'all better go see that movie. That's a great movie. Only reason I brought that up just now because we were dealing with, like I say, first century CE. That's exactly what that was. They considered that to be a cult. And the thing about it, what made me really think about that was the fact that the ruling party, which were the Romans that controlled Jerusalem at that time, you know, they definitely wanted to do the same thing that what's that dude that won it in the FBI? back in the 40s.
Hoover.
Hoover.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
that Hoover, that what they did 2,000 years ago, the same thing that Hoover did during the time of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. He wanted to eliminate a black Messiah. So
Another one will ever come to it.
that's right.
To another, yeah.
That's right. That was his job. And so back then, that's what they did. They so you call yourself the Messiah? Because there were a lot of messiahs or people that wanted to claim Messiah, which is what the movie is about. People think it's blasphemy. No, that's scripture. There were a lot of people that either thought they were the Messiah or tried to teach people that they were the Messiah, and the Romans put them on crosses. That's what they did, put them on crosses. But my point of bringing that up is that it's the dynamic, it's that cult mentality that caused people to really be like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Because that's not suitable to my way of life. Okay. What verse did we leave off at?
We started on the other parable. From verse 24.
Okay, so you just read 24 and see, I ain't gonna, yes I am. Yes I am. Yes, I am. Go ahead.
Okay. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Okay, so first of all, the kingdom of heaven is likened to a worker, because there is work when it comes down to, there are good works when it comes down to the kingdom of heaven. That's totally against Christianity. You are saved and delivered unto good works. So he's saying that the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which did what? Same thing we supposed to be doing, sowing good seed in his field, right?
Ooh, that's right.
Okay. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. So your enemy also does work. Straight up. When you got a hater hating on you and you don't even know, you ain't done nothing to them. And all y'all done experienced that. Y'all sitting here, y'all done experienced that. I tried to show myself to be, loving or friendly or whatever, but that person just ain't feeling me for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I was having this conversation with my friend.
Grab that mic, bro, because we live.
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she was like, you know how people are good, and why people hate on you, why people do that? And I was like, because there's some people who get a kick out of like pissing people off, basically, or getting a bitch out of somebody, or even robbing somebody, or even just doing turmoil to somebody, because they can't go to sleep unless they have that thrill of doing somebody in, because that's how they do it. They're evil. They're wicked people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, people do that just to get a kick out of it, because they like doing that type of stuff. Just like you got us who love to give, and we get a kick out of making somebody happy, or making somebody's day, saying, bringing peace to somebody's life or joy to somebody's life. Just, the contrary of what they do. So that's just how it is.
Yeah. And sadly, this society, man, has evolved into that. The most popular person is the one that causes that type of turmoil. Our society absolutely grew into this type of mentality. I ain't trying to name names, Trump.
Dang,
I'm just saying. This dude is about to be president again, and he got felonies. Since when did that happen? It was,
You can't even vote if you're a felon. You can't even vote if you're a felon.
Right. That's right. Absolutely. And I just heard that yesterday too. What he just said too. You can't even vote if you're a felon.
Most of the presidents, they have felonies. there's stuff in the gun that's not on the record. So it's
Mm.
like, who's to say?
Well, I say they might have done something and they ain't got caught. But
Because even Illinois, you have so many people that go to jail, but why they're not looking at, these other people?
Yeah.
Politicians, they're quick to put them in there, but not with this person.
right. Anybody remember the TV show The Flavor of Love?
Yes.
Y'all do.
Yes.
Who do y'all remember from The Flavor of Love?
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
I don't remember the names.
See, there's Tiffany. That's funny. Who's Tiffany, Father? Huh?
New York.
Yes,
New York.
Miss New York, absolutely.
That's the one I
Just
remember.
in case some of y'all don't know who Tiffany is.
That's her name.
Right.
Her nickname is New
Well,
York.
why do you know Why do you know Miss New York though? You can't think of the other ones.
She brought the drama.
Who was
Yes,
that one that
she
was like
did.
real sweet? She was nice to everybody, whatever. She work at Denny's right now.
For real.
I'm just saying, but that absolutely is the reality dynamic that's part of our society, right? Omarosa, yeah, right. Omarosa. I don't even know the stuff that she was on. I just know the name, Omarosa. She married some preacher here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, she sure did. They got in trouble.
They got in trouble. Oh man, but that's absolutely the mentality. I was gonna say that. What did you say? Oh, I thought you said Nene. I was gonna bring that up. Housewives of Atlanta.
I think the girl.
How outlandish can you be?
Huh?
That's the motto. How outlandish
Right.
can you be?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna top you at being outlandish.
Absolutely.
Because they have like a TV show, I guess, called The Villains, and a lot of those people.
Yeah, that's a new one, ain't it?
Yeah, are on that TV show because they became popular because of their character.
Villainy,
Villain's
right,
character.
right. That's crazy.
But we don't stray from
What's her name?
respectability.
What you like from the Housewives? What's her name?
I don't like nobody.
No, I mean, no sense.
Scratch that.
Yeah,
Trump actually called her the meanest person he ever met.
Wow.
That would even.
But in the past, you had to have a reputation. Like
Right,
the neighborhood, your community.
right.
If you didn't have a good reputation or someone knew something good about you, they wouldn't do business with you. They wouldn't. They kind of just don't go that way.
Yeah.
But now, the more evil
That's
you
right.
are, the more
Right,
self-hate that you have for yourself
right,
and put it displayed.
Oh,
It's a moneymaker,
right, right. That is absolutely the society we are living in today.
Bad is good.
Yeah.
And good is bad.
But
Even preachers.
Yes.
Preachers. You let preachers be evil, caught up in doing something like that. They don't lose their congregation.
Nah,
They gain momentum.
definitely do.
Huh?
They leave and their members follow them.
Yeah.
Yes. Jake's
Yeah.
on the contrary.
Huh?
I said Jake's on the contrary.
Man. Wow.
I follow you.
You must know the bad stuff.
I know you.
Go ahead.
Put together to see it cause it.
Go
But
ahead.
when the blade was sprung up and brought forth
Yeah,
fruit,
what verse we at?
verse 26.
Okay.
But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
Okay, so again, this person worked to bring down the work of this person that was doing a good thing, y'all. That's outrageous right there. Go ahead.
So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seeds in thy field? From whence then have they tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, you grow also the wheat up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Let both grow together until the harvest. And in that time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gathered the wheat into my barn.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's a good chapter that breaks down a lot of that, y'all. But I'm gonna go into the lesson of the few, the elect and the remnant. Let's go into Genesis, the 6th chapter. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And it came to pass.
Right, verse 1.
Oh, my bad. Okay. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took to them wives and all which they chose.
Now that verse there, y'all, people got a whole bunch of theories with that, right? The two most common theories is that sons of Elohim were angels. They looked down at the daughters of men, and they went down there and had sex with them, and because of that, they became giants. And then there's the other side that say the sons of men. I'm talking about the sons of Seth, the third son of Adam. They were considered sons of Elohim, but the sons of Canaan and whatever other sons that Adam had were the sons of men. So, but the point is that there was a huge population growth on the earth. Verse 3.
And Yahuwah said, my word shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Oh, anybody know what that's talking about? It said his days should be 120 years. Anyway, the 120 years talking about that from the time that he made this declaration, specifically to Noah, which we're going to read about, that man on earth had 120 years to get it together until the rains came. Some people think it was talking about the lifespan of a man, but they ain't talking about the lifespan of a man. He's talking about the time from this time that man would have on the earth to do whatever they needed to do until the rains came. And that's how the Father is. The only way that you can come close to knowing the mind of Yah is by knowing what he says and what he did. Because we as a people, not we as a people, we as people always want to make God to be what we want him to be. And we trust in our own thoughts. But the Father is very specific about a whole lot of things. And he's specific about his ways. And unless you really read and study how he functions, there's no way that you can know it. So the Father, when I see how he dealt with Sodom, I see how he dealt with Canaan, I see how he's dealing with Gentiles right now in this system. He always have an appointed time that he allowed things to continue to go on and on and on until he cuts it off. And so this was what it was here. It was a whole big society on this earth, man. Big society. In our mind, we ain't thinking it's that big because we like, the earth was just created in Genesis 1st chapter. Now we in Genesis 6th chapter. Couldn't have been that many people. It was a lot of people. There were cities built during this time. Okay? But he like, look, he only got 120 years to get it together. Verse 4.
There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Elohim came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
Mm-hmm.
And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
That's a lot for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. We could read something, but sometimes we need to let it sink
that.
in.
That is that. I mean, all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything they imagined they did.
See, here's the thing. The Father the Father created man on this earth out of the earth for the reason being because of what Satan ended up doing. You got to go deep into the scripture to really figure that part out. Angels existed before we existed. But when Satan fell and took a third of the angels with him, the Father was like, you know what? I'm going to create something a little lower than the angels. The angels can't die. They were made with a heavenly spiritual disposition that they don't die. But we at the end, and here's the crazy part about it. When man was created, we couldn't die either. Huh? We were made a little lower than angels because we were not as the spiritual dynamic, but still we were in a state where we really couldn't die unless, but the Father put some on this earth to show Satan that we could do what he couldn't do. And that's why he put that tree of life in the garden.
There's two things that, well, they could do is reproduce. Well, they could reproduce or not.
As far as we know,
Angels, no.
yeah.
So, two reasons we were created was to either reproduce or become immortal.
Well, I just want to stick to the point of just being able to do something that Satan can do. I just want to stick to that point because, as it's written, Adam and Eve sadly didn't reproduce until after the fall. You know, I'm sure they probably could have, but they didn't for whatever reason. But the point is that they had something on this earth that the Father put on this earth and said, look, don't eat from that. Don't eat from that. And it was just strictly to see if they would be obedient.
Right.
Because it didn't have to be on the earth in the first place. It was only on the earth to test this creation I made.
Because the angels were
Huh?
because you had the ones that failed that was being disobedient.
Right, right. And all the angels weren't disobedient. It was just that select few that Lucifer got a hold of.
That remnant.
Huh?
That remnant.
Right, right, absolutely. So the point is that in the process of time, now there's a whole creation of man, and the Father said that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Let me translate that to read it another way. That these individuals are destroying my creation. Because that's really what wickedness is if you get it down to its bare root. When you get into its bare root, it means that I'm doing something contrary to life. I'm lying about you all the time, and that can't bring forth good fruit. That's going to bring forth death or something evil. Everything that you do that we call sin is contrary to creation. Because the Father created the earth. The earth has to function in a certain order. Just like when you buy a car, right? You buy a car, just say your car got a 5.0 in it. That's huge, right? A 5.0 liter engine, V8. You know that you're cruising around at 30, 35 miles per hour. That ain't telling you nothing. Huh? That ain't telling you nothing. You gotta try to test that bad boy out, right? Bring them RPMs up to see if it can really do what it's supposed to do. Huh?
Yeah.
That's the same way we are as a creation. The Father created us, gave us everything that we need to do to live and enjoy this creation on the earth. But He also wants to see that you're worthy of it. But when you are void of understanding what thus says YAH, that's what these people were. See, the scripture don't really give us an expanded dynamic of what was happening before Noah. You got to go into other books, like other books that tell you how Enoch was a friend of YAH. And Enoch, he dealt with the people almost every day. He was a judge and everything. And then Enoch started not being around as much. So he showed up on Sabbath. And then he started showing up once a month. Then he started showing up once a year until he wasn't showing up no more. That's how it reads in either the book of Joshua or one of the other books. But it tells you that the Father did have representatives on the earth, and they were few compared to the entire creation, but it was somebody on the earth to teach men the ways of the Most High. We don't read a lot in here about Methuselah, but Methuselah did the same thing. Methuselah, that was Enoch's son.
Yeah.
Right, I think it was Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and then Noah. But ironically, that seed of Seth did have righteous men in them that men could look to and learn about the Father, and therefore do what the Father required them to do. But, huh?
It said the Canaanites.
I'm sorry.
It said the Canaanites was taught by them.
The Canaanites.
I thought they were the Canaanites.
Ain't no Canaanites.
Oh, they weren't. Okay.
You talking about Cain? Cainites?
Oh.
The sons of Cain?
Oh, somebody's taught the Canaanites.
That's probably what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There ain't no Canaanites.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about.
That's right. You were in my house.
Anyway, and so it even verse 5 again, Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So evil is always going to be in the dominant culture of mankind.
Right.
From that day to this day, it's always going to be that small remnant that are being obedient to the Most High, but the vast majority. So if you in any religion, that's a vast majority, whatever, a great number, that is not of the Most High YAH. So that's what was happening, that their wickedness was just, that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So much though, in verse 6.
And they repented, Yahuwah, that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
See, that's the reality of the Father, one that we don't want to accept, but that's exactly what it was. The Father gives us free reign to do whatever it is that we want to do. We're just going to have to accept the consequences behind doing whatever we want to do. We like to justify all the stuff that we do and make it be part of Yah's plan. That's what we do. That's what we do. But the Father calls it evil. And it repented Yah that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. I can imagine there was some of them down there like, look, hey man, I'm not a murderer, Jack. Jake over there is wild. I ain't gonna get that type of stuff on it, you know. But then they doing other things contrary to the Most High. And when the Most High is looking down, he see it all as one. He ain't looking at you no better than that person there, no better than that person there, because all y'all are foul, wicked. He said, it repented Yah that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Man, can you imagine that? The Father is grieved in his heart because of the stuff that we're doing. Go ahead.
And Yahuwah said, I will destroy man whom I created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repent of me that I have made them.
And all the beasts and the fowls got to pay for the stuff that we're doing. That's something, because he said, look, it just repented me. I put animals down here for y'all service. I put seed in the earth to grow stuff for y'all service. I'm destroying it all. Verse 8.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahuwah.
So this is one individual, one individual out of all these people on earth that was functioning the way contrary to everybody else. That had to have been one of the most craziest looking individuals you could imagine.
Right?
That dude named Noah. Man, he don't go to no party. he'll be doing other stuff that we do, but he don't touch see our competitions. He don't do none of that stuff, man. He just be off on his own with a little family, whatever. But that's what he did. The Father found grace in this one individual. Why? Not just because he just chose him just for no reason. He chose him because he do what he do with every last one of us. He sees our heart. Like we like to say that he knows my heart. No, that's not a good thing to say.
Scared.
See, we say that, don't even, why do we say that?
Because we heard it.
Huh?
We heard it and really don't understand what it means in a concept of, from the perspective of God.
That's true. But the main thing is that you are accusing me of something from what you see. And my reply to you is, bro, the Father knows my heart. So I'm trying to make you think that I'm on a private dynamic with the Father while you're judging me. And that's basically what it is. That's right. That's what it is. That's like you're accusing me of something, and my only answer to you is like, look, man, you don't understand, but the Father knows my heart.
Only God can judge me.
Only He can judge me. That's it. Only He can judge me. So I'm sure that a whole bunch of people going around telling everybody that same dynamic, and Noah sitting over here doing what he doing, and the Father like, man, look at my servant right there. He don't even allow himself to be in the midst to even get into no conversation like that.
Oh, that's good.
You know? Verse 9.
These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just
That's
man
what he was. He was a just man.
and perfect in his generation.
Wow.
And Noah walked with Elohim.
And you got some people out here got this bad doctrine talking about, no, you got to understand that Noah, when he said generation, he talking about his genealogy. That, Israelites got this doctrine talking about his makeup about him was perfect. No. That had nothing to do with it. So you look at the word generations and you break it down, his genes. He was not tainted by the giants that came on the earth and populated it. That is crazy. But no, it says he was a just man. So whether he had been a descendant of one of the giants or not, he functioned justly. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Right? And perfect in his generations. And go ahead. There you go. That and the Father walked with him just like he walked with Enoch. It said that Enoch was so in line with the Father, said the Father took him and he was not. And so here go his son, Noah, having been taught by Methuselah, having been taught by Lamech, having been taught by Enoch, the righteous ways, and he's doing this thing. The point is that out of the whole creation on the earth, only Noah and 7 others in his family were delivered. And sad thing to say is that in the time that we're in right now, it's going to be that same dynamic, that same relative remnant number that's going to get salvation. Because let church tell it, man, we all going to be saved. All we got to do is just believe on this name. That's right. Some people be like, hey, no matter what I do, God loves me. And I'm going to be one of them that stand in the end at the end of the day. No. You might as well throw the whole Bible away if you got that type of belief.
Blessed and highly favored.
There it is. Them people that you run into, and they quick to let you know.
Don't pray for me.
How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Blessed and highly favored is translated to better than you, actually. That's what it is. Huh?
That's a good.
That's what it's translated to. How you doing? Oh, can't repeat what I just said. You can't repeat what I just said.
Why can't you bless all the favorite too?
Because I already told you I was blessed.
I was on that favorite, so the rule for one.
You just right. You just copied off of me.
Yeah.
If I had to finish, you'd be like, I'm doing okay. Or you might, well, I'm leaning independent. I ain't leaning independent. All right, move right along, y'all. But that's Noah, y'all. He was that remnant.
Yes.
Very few among the old creation of people. Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. That's sad. Throughout the history of the world, y'all, we don't see the same thing. Ooh. Deuteronomy 7th chapter. Let's start this off at verse 1.
When Yahuwah thy Elohim shall bring thee into the land, whether thou goest to possess it,
Verse 1.
and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites,
7 and 1.
and the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
That's right, Israel.
And
I'm
when-
bringing you into this place that's occupied by these 7 Canaanite nations. And make no mistake, they are greater and mightier than y'all. Go ahead.
And when Yahuwah thy Elohim shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give them unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other idols. So will the anger of Yahuwah be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
This is now, that's another thing about the Father, that those who know the Father truly understand. But the Father don't really make it easier for his chosen. He don't. Ain't not one person that you can read in the scriptures that the Father just make it easier for them. They all did some amazing stuff out of faith.
And under pressure.
Right. That pressure. Pressure was crazy. I don't want y'all to make no mistake now. You going in that ring, and that's Mike Tyson you going up against. You gotta go in the ring and deal with Mike Tyson, because that's an evil cat. But you got to take him out though. But that's not the part. Look. And not one nation, 7 nations. 7 nations. Y'all one nation. Y'all brand new. Y'all the newest nation on the face of the earth. These cats been around for a long time. Even your twin brother Edom is a nation. Y'all still ain't no nation. Check that out. And these are 7 nations. Y'all gotta take these 7 nations out, right? One day I'm gonna get into that story with David, man. I cry when I read that. I want to one day read that without crying, man. When he went into the camp and everybody he spoke to was higher than him. His brothers was taller than him, everybody. And he's like, man, what's going on? Why y'all tripping, whatever? They like, this Philistine giant, he come heckling us every single day. Every single day.
Right.
Trying to get one of us to fight. But we trying to wait to see, what's gonna happen, whatever. He's like, man, really? Y'all scared of this heathen? Non-Cubans, y'all scared of this cat? This cat do not have, he serve a pagan deity, and we are the chosen of YAH. This brother came, man, why are you in here causing trouble,
Right.
dude?
Go back
Bring
home.
us our food and go back to your father.
Exactly.
And he's like, man, I don't want to hear y'all. I don't even want to hear y'all. Y'all tell me some more about this, and they still talking to him. Like, look, I'm about to go to the king, have a conversation with him.
Right. See what's up with you.
King, look, King Saul, how long you gonna let this thing go? I tell you what, I'm gonna be the one to go. And like, man, you gonna do what? How you gonna look? Cause I serve the true and living Yah. That's all he said. He had not proved himself no kind of way to them to show that he was about this high, you know. And then the king try to put armor on this little dude.
What about five, six,
Yeah.
one, and
Huh?
Yeah.
Right. But see, to a carnal person, we like, oh yeah, I got the best going out, you know, going out with this. We like, look, I have not even proved these. You know, you giving me a M16, I ain't never shot a 22 caliber gun. What was you about to say?
When I read that story, the thing that was most intriguing to me was his brothers and the other warriors had a status in the community
That's
that
right.
made the people think that they were somebody, and
Absolutely.
they weren't doing
Yeah.
nothing.
Absolutely.
And God, when I read it, God revealed that's the church.
Right.
Church, we
Right.
think that the pastors
That's
and the
correct.
preachers and all these
Hallelujah.
big churches are doing all this stuff, and they're not doing nothing to tear down the enemy's kingdom.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. But that thing about David, man, his faith was on another level. That even when Samuel showed up at his house to anoint the next king, he didn't even show up. He didn't even show up. He didn't even try to put himself in a place to be, because he's like, I got these 6 brothers. Oh, there's gonna be one of them. But guess what though? I'm communing with the Father out here. I'm communing with the Father. Father got me beating bears and lions and all type of stuff out here. It's just this is between me and him. I don't care if nobody else see it. I don't care if nobody else see it. I don't care if my brothers see it. If my daddy see it, I ain't got nothing to do with them. My relationship with the Father is so secure that I'm just fine, content,
I'm content in my field, just chilling.
being right where I'm at. But then when the Father took us, he didn't go to the thing by himself. The Father made him go carrying food to his brothers. And he saw the situation. Man, I read that, and the thing that kills me is that he had that slingshot, and it says he ran at full speed to this dude, 9 cubits, ran full speed. Not just him standing there and sizing him up. He was running. It was like he was running because at the same time he's running, he's probably doing this at the same time.
Right.
Giving energy to this right here, because he said, okay, if I do it like this, it ain't gonna be as potent as if I'm running. I'm the engine behind this rock. Man, one time he was out. It's like every time I read that, I get tears because it's like,
it's amazing.
But the point is that to any man on the face of the earth trying to defeat this dude that's coming and talking all this stuff, and the very words that this giant was saying was the energy he needed to fuel his fire.
Okay.
Man, right.
Uncircumcised.
Right. Right.
All right.
That's right. That's right. For no other reason, just by the word that you saying, mean that you ain't gonna even utter nothing else for the rest of your life. That's a heavy mentality, man. And he wasn't gonna be no 2 or 3 different chances he was gonna take with it too. But that's what the Father did with every last one of his servants. Put them in a position like, man, like, you know, this is your faith right here. You know, just like Abraham, same thing. Abraham lived in a society, which is basically the society, the biggest society on earth at that time, because Nimrod was running things during his time. His father being, what's the word? Yeah, but I'm talking about he was in the court of Nimrod. Right? He was in the court of Nimrod. He saw Nimrod every single day. He knew him intimately. Right. So that made it even that much more hard.
Right. Yeah.
You know? I could go down the line, man. That's a whole nother lesson, man. But going down the line, seeing the things that the Father put on his servants that they had to overcome. From Job, everybody, man, all the prophets, man, the stuff that every last one of these prophets, I said, Jeremiah, the stuff that they had to deal with on a day-to-day basis was just insane. And so why would you think that it'll be even less for us? It's not. It's not. But where we at? Let's finish this out.
Verse 5. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire.
And here's the thing with that. See, we just reading it on paper, so we really can't really feel the energy. After you have defeated these tall, mighty men, 7-4 nations, 7-4 armies, all of these things that you see, and this ain't no raggedy stuff you're talking about. This ain't no raggedy about this that you're talking about. We're talking about beautiful groves and the trees and the high places and the edifices that they built. You gonna be tearing all that stuff down, destroying it. Everything he's saying is contrary for the natural man to really digest when you think about it. But that's what he commanded them. Verse 6, though, this is what it all goes to right here, verse 6.
For thou art an Kadesh people unto Yahuwah thy Elohim. Yahuwah thy Elohim has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Okay, now, real quickly, and the next verse is really important. The point is that what we as Israel forget is the reason why we were chosen. The reason why we were chosen is because the Father destroyed the whole creation. We don't look at that. So this time, I'm going to make sure that there's a remnant on this earth that all the people can look to and follow my commandments. Because I may have been a little lighter in previous with the Enoch and Methuselah and Noah. Now, I ain't going to make that same mistake this time. When they repopulate the earth, I'm going to first sanctify Abraham, which is what we were just talking about. The Father found that same grace in Abraham that he found with Noah. And like you say, Abraham's father was an idol maker, made idols. But Abraham in his mind was like, no, ain't no way in the world this stuff should be worshipped. This is before he really got intimate with the Father,
Right.
all on his own. He's like, this not making no sense to me.
Right.
Okay, for those of you that know the story, you know he went and destroyed all the idols in his father's place. All of them. And his father questioned him about that and said, hey, man, that big one there got the accident and he wanted to do it. Father said, ain't no way in the world that big one is do no such thing. Now, why do you worship it then? But call him just in his own ignorance.
Exactly.
But it was after that said the Father found grace in him. And look, for you to do what I want you to do, the first thing you have to do is you have to leave this beautiful place of Babylon, of Babel, beautiful, beautiful place. You're gonna have to go into the direction that I point to and go there where you ain't never been before.
It's just like the stony ground.
Huh?
That familiar place, the
Right,
stony ground.
right,
It's
true
like,
that, true that,
you
true
can't
that,
grow with people.
True that.
They keep doing the same thing that you're familiar
true
with.
that, absolutely.
So you're gonna end up relapsing
Uh-huh,
and going back.
yep. But that's what the Father did, had to remove him, and out he went, and the Father dealt with him, but it still didn't get easy for him, because then the area that he went in Canaan was in a famine, and he was caught up in that famine. He said, look, let's go to Mizraim, let's go to Egypt. And he took his beautiful wife and went to Egypt. Got there in Egypt, and he got scared and told his wife to say, hey, tell him you my sister. He didn't really have to do that, but that's what happens when we're tested. Sometimes that fear get you. We don't even take it by surprise or whatever. Then we be like, oh. And then she ended up doing that. And that king just about had his way with her. But then we found out that that was really his wife. He got mad at Abraham. mad at Abraham. That's deep because we are stupid in thinking that the law didn't exist. The law did exist. It always existed. Why would people die if the law didn't exist? Huh? The law had to exist, or else wouldn't nobody be dead. You know? But here, that king of Abimelech, like, man, you almost made me sin. And that's, yeah, absolutely. That's right. That's right. Simple as that. But the father had to bring Abraham through all these different tests, though, in order to him. But the point is that as Israelites, we don't understand that history. We don't really understand that history. All we get stuck at that word chosen, and that's it. No, chosen. Chosen to do what? Chosen to be my light of the world is what you were chosen to be. But you ain't even trying to bring other people into righteousness in the kingdom. Because somehow you think it was just about you. Huh? Utter ridiculous. Utter ridiculous. You don't even know who I am, and you're going to ask me what tribe I'm from. Right, what that mean? Oh, wait till 2 weeks from now, man. Oh, wait till 2 weeks from now. If my people, I can't wait to bring that. I wish all Israelites to hear this lesson. You hear this lesson, man, I guarantee you won't want to be an Israelite no more. Straight up. That's another lesson, though. The point is, though, we were ordained, chosen by the Father to be a light to this whole world so that he won't destroy his whole entire creation no more.
Mic drop.
It's just as simple as that. Huh? Right, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
That's what you were. You were the fewest of all the people. So I didn't choose y'all because y'all were the greatest. Go ahead.
But because Yahuwah loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, and Yahuwah brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Mizraim.
It was because your fathers, Abraham died in his righteousness. Isaac died in his righteousness. Jacob, Israel died in his righteousness. Okay, they're gone. They did what they supposed to do, and now because I am an Elohim of covenant, I have to deal with y'all. And quite frankly, I have dealt with y'all for 40 years at this point, and y'all ain't showed me nothing nice, but I still got to do this, all because of your fathers. Do not wear your quote-unquote righteousness on your sleeve because you ain't got none. It's your fathers. Simple as that. Go ahead.
Know therefore that Yahuwah thy Elohim, he is Elohim, the faithful Elohim, which keep his covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hated him. He will pay him into his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken unto these judgments and keep and do them, that Yahuwah thy Elohim should keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine and thy oil, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep in the land which he sware unto his fathers to give thee. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you.
Okay, you start right there. But the whole point is that going back to that 7th verse, it said, y'all are the fewest of the people. Not no large nation at all. Because that's what I deal with. I deal with the few to show the many. All right? Daniel, the 3rd chapter. speed it up just a little bit, y'all. I didn't have a lot of passages in this. Daniel, the third chapter. Daniel, the third chapter. Let's start this at verse 1. Y'all know I love this.
Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dora, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, set together the prince, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together into the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
Okay, so let's understand something here. Babylon at this time, which is ironically the Babylon of Nimrod, coming all the way up into this time frame right here. They were, as Nimrod had it, were the world rulers at this time. Okay? No Rome at this time, no Greek. None of them had even really evolved into nations to this degree at this time. Okay? This is Nebuchadnezzar's Babylon, and as a kingdom, as the term kingdom implies, it means you control other nations, other governments are part of your kingdom.
Right.
You know? And just like if you glance at that map over there, the one on the right, that map was made like in 1500 AD. It's called a Ptolemaic map. That is a rude representation of the whole earth at that time, of what they knew what earth was, which is Israel being in the center of it, Egypt down there, and Asia to the east, and Greek and Rome and Spain up here to the north, whatever. But that was the known world at that particular time. There was nothing known about a Western Hemisphere, nothing. But at this particular time, Babylon was the ruler of all of that. If they would have had a map made at this time, it might not even have Greece and Rome on there. Matter of fact, at this particular time, where we see Greece and Rome at, and you can see this in Bible maps, if y'all got the Noah map in y'all Bibles, it said that the Hittites lived where Greece and Rome is now. The Hittites expanded all the way up north to that part. So that was considered the land of Ham. Ain't that something? I wish one of y'all had a Bible Noah map in y'all, because it's in a lot of the Bible.
It might be up there too. Is the atlas up there?
Yep, the Hittites. Oh, shoot. Okay, here you go, right here. Look at this. There you go, right there. Ain't no Rome or Greece at this particular time. Man, I didn't know it was in here.
Put it up to the camera.
Oh, yeah. Yep. If they can see that. Oh, they can see that. See, and it's backwards, y'all. I'm sorry, it's backwards. East is east, east is west, west is east. But it says Hittites up there. This is where Greece and Rome is. Oh, you got it in yours too?
Yeah, I have it.
See? There you go, right there. So this is considered the land of Ham. It ain't just Africa, what we call Africa. Land of Ham was all the way up on northern. Huh? Oh, it ain't? Oh, you know what? But what I see it is backwards. But on what you see, it ain't backwards. Okay. Well, hey, hallelujah for that. That's the land of Ham, way up there. Wow. That's why when people be saying, so you got some people say the original Greeks were black, you know. No, they were not black. The inhabitants of the land were black before the Japhethites came down and took control of Greece and Spain and Rome and them areas. But before they came down and took control of it, the Hittites had that area. That's crazy, ain't it? See, you know Bible, but you gotta know a little something about history, for real, in order to put it in order. What else we had again? And Daniel, right? Daniel, go ahead.
Yes, but they had set up, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Verse 4. Then a herald cried out, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, cymbals, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up.
And more than likely, this form of religion or this image was representative of the same thing that Nimrod set up thousands of years ago. Huh? Because Jeremiah gave me one of the most profound verses ever in the scripture that changed my life.
What do you say? How the nations change?
But you already know. You already know. Jeremiah 2:11, have a nation changed their gods? That let me know everything I need to know about Jesus, about any other God. Because he said, like, they have not changed their God. So the same God that this Nebuchadnezzar was setting up in the idol, I'm pretty sure it represented the same one that Nimrod had up thousands of years before.
To the T.
To the T, absolutely. Go ahead.
And whoso falleth not down and worship shall be the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, cymbal, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore, at that time, a certain Chaldean came near and accused the how you did.
Boy, he's one of these evil Chaldeans. Our ancestors, the Chaldeans. Because you know that's what Abraham was. Chaldean. Of the Chaldees, that's what he was. So that's ethnically who he was. These are our ancestors. So for some reason, the Father in put something in us, some kind of way in which we understood things. Because all these pagan kings were like, let's see what the Chaldeans got to say about this. Right? Ain't that what the king Pharaoh did?
Yep.
The same Chaldean. And that's Mizraim. And now we're in Babylon, same thing. Chaldeans, they come here and figure this out for us. Got to figure this out for us. But they went, hey, the term that we use in Chicago is they tricked on us. I learned that they said some word we say everybody else don't say it. Do y'all say that term, man? They tricked, meaning they told on you.
They snitch.
They snitch, right? In Chicago, we say trick. They tricked on us. That's funny. But that's what they did. That's what they did. The Chaldeans came near and accused these 3 Hebrew boys that would not do what they were supposed to do. Verse 9.
They spake and said unto the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever.
Oh yeah, real quick, your king live forever. Right? That's what the Chaldeans did. You want to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. Daniel used that same salutation with Nebuchadnezzar too. O king, live forever. Whichever that king was that put him into the lion's den, that's how he addressed him the same way. But that his son, Belteshazzar. Because we had respect for the authority.
Right.
Because the truth of the matter is that the Father collectively put our people under these authorities for our chastisement. So you can't be disrespectful to the rod that the Father is using to chastise.
Right. Yep.
We as Israel don't understand that dynamic. We don't get that. We got to be humble in the land of our enemy because the Father is the one that put us there. So that's the reason why when you read even the relationship with these, this same Nebuchadnezzar knew these three dudes as children. And he elevated them because of their respect for him. They didn't respect the ways of Babylon, because when they say, oh, when it comes down to conflicting against what we're supposed to do, oh no, we're not eating that. We're not eating that. That's the first chapter of Daniel. They were kids. We're not eating that. But they grew in the kingdom in the grace of YAH. Because the Father knew who these kids were. All the kids of Yahudah didn't act like them. Because there was a lot of them there that was growing up with them in the Babylonian system. But it was only them four. Because Daniel was the fourth kid that said, no, we can't eat that. We can't eat that. Kill us, die, because we can't eat that, die. No disrespect, but we can't eat it. And the Father proved them, and they had been vegetarians throughout that whole thing. Because we're in the land of our captivity, we can't eat these people meats. Huh? They do strange stuff when they offer them to idols. So they might have not been vegan before they got captive. But when they was in Babylon, they served them that meat. Oh no. Oh no. I know what they did with this meat.
Oh yeah, they did something bad.
They did something. No. I wish I'd have learned that lesson a long time ago. See, I knew the story, but it didn't really dawn on me the reality of what that story was telling. But the truth is that that's what these people do to these meats. Okay? So they function in a way that they could in the land of their enemy. So now they're at a crossroads here because this king that they done knew all their entire lives is now trying to force everybody to bow down to this image, which is idolatry. And you can imagine the conversation that probably have been heard among the other people, even among the Hebrews that was there. Come on, man, we just trying to make it through another day.
Why y'all gotta act out like this?
Yeah, why y'all, making us look bad. Right. So where we at?
Verse 10. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Then all there are certain Yahudi whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Y'all understand that these ain't farmers we talking about? These were men of greatness in the kingdom. Huh? Tim Scott, the mother guy. Huh? Right. I wish I knew the Herman Cain. He would deal with these dudes here. Set over the affairs. Man, I don't know. Daniel just might have not been around at that time. He might have been on a mission or something.
Was the governor of Atlanta, Andrew?
Huh?
Was it Governor Andrew? The one in Atlanta, the governor or the mayor. Was it the mayor of Atlanta?
Okay.
I'm just saying he was a brother. That's what.
Yeah, but I'm talking about from a national dynamic, not from a local level. National. When he said they would set the affairs of the province of Babylon, that's the capital. So maybe we talking about Marion Barry. I don't know.
Still local.
Yeah, but I'm saying the province of Babylon. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. These men. See, he changed their names when they were kids to reflect their deities. but their original names had Yah and Elohim in their names. But go ahead.
These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy idol, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Wow.
Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king.
This dude was furious. In my David Chappelle voice, he was furious.
That was terrible.
Because you all know the rest. This is why it was terrible. But he was furious. He really was. He was furious because these grown men are men that he's seen as children. Y'all done ate in my house.
I raised y'all.
Raised y'all. Educated y'all. Y'all even know how to speak my language. The tongue of the Chaldean. The tongue of the Chaldean. That's what it said in Daniel, the first chapter. And now, out of all of these people that could have been rebellious, y'all the ones that were rebellious. He was furious. Go ahead.
Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do you not serve my idols, nor worship the golden image which I have set up?
Right. See, he knew their name because he gave them these names.
Josiah Smith, FaceTime video.
Go ahead, verse 15.
Now be ready that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast in the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that Elohim that shall deliver you out of my hand?
Now, see, that's another crazy part, because it's not like Nebuchadnezzar did not know who Yah was. People do that same thing today. Oh man, Yah, you talking about Yah, Yahweh? I know about him. Yahweh, Yah, yeah, I know about him, but they don't really know. They claim to be knowing, but they don't really know, and that's what this king did. Asked them a crazy question to these three Hebrew boys that he know doggone well who they worship. They've been worshiping him the entire time they've been under his roof, right? But when the Father is not really reality to you, it's whatever. It's just another deity. You know, I wasn't able to deliver y'all out of the mindset of this Hebrew God that y'all worship. Y'all gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today. Whatever you want to call him, whoever he is, I want to know who is this Elohim. Well, verse 15. Who is this Elohim that shall deliver you out of my hand? 16.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar.
Here go the most gangster statement in the entire scriptures right here. This is straight gangster. Go ahead.
We are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
First thing out of their mouth. I don't even want you to think we up here hemming and hawing and trembling. Ain't none of us doing none of that stuff. So I just want you to know that before we say what we got to say, understand the spirit. We are not careful to answer you in this matter. Asking us who is this God that's able to, we're gonna answer you. And we ain't gonna tremble when we answer. That's gangster, man. That's the type of faith I want.
Yes.
If I ain't got it, man, I want it like now. And guess what though? That is the beauty of Shabbat, man. Because unless you at least do Shabbat, you ain't got no chance of having this type of faith.
No.
Huh? Let me be out here in the street, keeping Shabbat, and just doing what I want to try to do, whatever. Y'all wouldn't even know me in a couple of months. I'm telling you that matter of factly, because that's just how it works. Okay? But this is the faith that they had. This is the faith meaning that, we've been worshiping him all our lives. So we ain't careful to answer you in this matter. Make no mistake. Everybody else out there scared of their lives, except for these three cats you got standing before you. Go ahead.
And if it be so, our Elohim who we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. And if he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king.
Right, he said, if it be so, he will. Make no mistake, if it be so. We're not saying he's gonna do it or not, but if it be so, you're gonna learn today if it be so.
Was Daniel in the mother's place?
He must have been. That's what I'm saying.
Because he wasn't sprayed either. Remember, he opened up.
That's right. Absolutely. That's right. They were raised up, but yeah, but for whatever reason, I don't know the reason, he doesn't appear right here in this particular incident. So absolutely, go ahead.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy idols, nor worship thy golden image which thou hast set up.
Right. Do what you want to do. You know, you might be offended by us now, but you ain't taking into no account that we done served you well. And they didn't even have to say that. See, I'm mad to it. I'm mad to it. And I like these cats. They like, bro, we didn't have to say that. I don't even know why you had to. He already know what we done did for him in his kingdom all these years. We ain't got that, and that's a lesson all of this stuff right there. You know, you do good to people, and then people for whatever reason gonna cross you. And then you feel that need to want to express it. I ain't never, man, look. Wasn't I the one that when you asked for money or whatever, I gave, you should never have to do that.
That ain't for you to do that.
No.
When you do that, you got your reward.
The point is that the people that are going against you for whatever reason, they already know that you did these things for them. Right. They ain't forgot. They choose to forget because now they're representing some other thing right here. You know, so you don't know it, but my friend, that I admire so much, he don't really like you, that he ain't feeling you that much. So now I'm not feeling you that much either. I'm not gonna say it, I'm gonna treat you in that way without saying it.
After all these years, we had this friendship.
Right, absolutely. But it means absolutely nothing. My agenda is what's the forefront thing that I'm dealing with right now. And if I can please my new homie right here, that was I'm thinking of what that remind me of. Karate Kid 3.
What?
Y'all remember that one? Karate Kid 3. I know you know Karate Kid.
He was in Japan, right?
No, that's 2. Karate Kid 3 is when that dude named forget his name, with the boat with the thing in his head. And he was friends with the
Silver.
Yeah, Silver, right. That's what Silver was, right? So, what's his name? Danielson ended up liking him better than Mr. Miyagi. Right, forget everything Mr. Miyagi did. I like this dude right here because he's really making me powerful and trained. So that was like the same thing. I'm just doing a comparison. Whatever good that Mr. Miyagi did, man, that was trash. Your karate is trash, man. This right here is the real deal right here. So that's what this reminds me of, man. So he forgot all the good stuff that these three boys did. All these folks on Nice, him feeling disrespected because they're not worshiping his idols. Where we at?
Verse 19.
Then
was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
He was furious.
Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than what it was wont to be heated.
Yeah, I was just a little bit mad, but now y'all come talking crazy to me, man. How hot it is right now ain't even enough for, look, heat that bad boy 7 times more. I want to make sure that whatever God y'all think that could deliver y'all out of that, it'll be utterly impossible. Put it, man, look, put it up, turn it up. Go ahead.
And he commanded the most mighty men that were in the army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Wow.
And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto the counselors, did not we cast these three men bound into the midst of the fire? Then answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the son of Elohim.
And it's interesting that that the way it's transliterated here or translated, it don't read a son of Elohim. It says the son of Elohim. That could be a mic drop right there. Verse 26.
Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Elohim, come forth.
Ain't that something?
Yeah,
and come here.
You forgot his name earlier.
Uh-huh.
Or his title, at least.
Right.
Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth in the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose body nor was an hair of the head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of the fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
That's right. See, so you act like you still don't know his name, but you can only do what you can do. Right? You can only do what you can do. See, that's the same for us, man. We know YAH's name. He tell us to extol his name. There's other people that going around talking about some God this and whatever that. That's what the heathens do. That's why they put in God we trust on the corn. We don't really know who he is, but we just, hey, whoever he is for you, that's who he is. So this is Nebuchadnezzar speaking, saying, blessed be the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And change their name. Huh? Yeah. Who have what?
Who has sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any idol except their own Elohim.
So we know that what's supposed to happen there now is that Babylon is supposed to give an account of what just happened with them, just like every other nation before them, like Sodom, like Canaan, like all the nations that have seen the glory of the Most High Yah, they supposed to give account of that. And they didn't. They didn't. You know, when you read in the book of Esther, and that whole thing happened with Esther, and they was, got the victory over Haman and saved all of the Yahudi in the region of the king Artaxerxes, or Ahasuerus, rather. When that happened and he saved all their lives, it says many in the province became Yahudi.
Yeah.
Meaning they were not ethnically Israelites.
Right.
But because they saw a salvation among the people, they converted to the worship of Yah.
Boom.
In that same thing was supposed to happen here. Well, that idol that was set up, oh man, they supposed to chop that down immediately. Because again, that's what we represent. We represent the light of the world. We are what the people are supposed to look to know and understand the salvation of the Most High. But guess what though? It was just a few, three men that did something that the average man was not able to do. Because if you ask them, they were not going to survive this fire. That was the last day on the face of the earth. But the Most High said otherwise. And we read this, and guess what? We read this, and now it's relegated to Bible. But back then, this was history. This is world history that was in their history books. I say their history books, meaning Babylonian books. Just like what happened with Israel and Egypt was in Egypt's books. But they done try to throw all that stuff out.
I was gonna say something, but I noticed it too. When they made their decree and they was like, look, we're not gonna do it, we're not careful about how they answer whatever.
Right.
They was also saying that in verse 17, it said, if it be so, our Elohim
Right.
who we serve, he's able to deliver us.
Right.
They went and put him on the spot, and they like other
That's right.
and like other people. Well, God gave them some kind of vision. Say, I said do this.
Right.
They didn't do that. They said, hey, we know he's able to do it.
That's right.
But then they say right here, but if not, we still want it to be known.
But see, that's the thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. We have feelings like, damn. And then we try to put the Father in it. You know what? God told me this.
Right.
Or whatever. But that's not the way the Father functions, though. He say, if there be a prophet among you, Numbers 12 chapter, YAH will speak to them in the vision or will speak to them in the dream. But my servant Shemaiah, aka Moses, is not so. With him I will speak mouth to mouth. Well, it's the same thing with us, where he, even though he might not speak us mouth to mouth, he give us sure dreams and visions to let us know that this is him dealing with us. They didn't get that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, I said that earlier, though. Right.
That was
Right,
smooth
right,
This
right,
right here ain't like
right.
this is real.
Yeah.
Right. This is what it is. We not
They
gonna
couldn't,
do it.
they couldn't make the Father be what they wanted him to be.
Right.
They had to let him know, like, look, this is us saying this stuff here. So if the Father sees this, if he's looking at this, if he's hearing our words, he will deliver us. If it be so, but if not, man, look, you could go somewhere with that idol.
Still ain't gonna
That's
go.
how I was bringing out, because that's really, really powerful. Everybody was instructed or somebody was told or given some kind of fear.
Right.
But these three here, I think that's why they were able to obtain so much, because they went on there with no kind of assurance, no kind of, you know what I'm saying, hey, push them out there. You could do
Well,
it.
see, again, we don't have the whole thing here about their life, but 9 times out of 10, it's just me saying this. From the first time that they were like, we ain't eating this stuff, the Father had intimate relationship with them.
Right.
He has an intimate relationship with some of y'all too, whether y'all know it or not. When y'all was in a situation where y'all just knew that this is, hey, there ain't no way out, the Father did what he needed to do, whether you know it or not. So these 3, 4 men, they has an intimacy dynamic. That when you, like you say with Daniel, when you say, wait a minute, we ain't supposed to pray to the Most High, and he in his house and open the windows, facing east, facing Jerusalem, whatever the facing. Check this out, facing west. Yes, facing west to Jerusalem. And I know them haters down there looking at me. I know them haters down there looking at me, but my dynamic with the Most High, it ain't no imaginary thing.
No, it's real.
It's the real deal. The real deal. Straight up the real deal. Man. All right, 2 Chronicles 18 chapter. 2 Chronicles 18 chapter. I can't do a part 2 to this, y'all. But we ain't really even read a whole lot of stuff, though. Bear with me. Y'all bear with me. 2 Chronicles 18 chapter. Oh, yeah. 2 Chronicles 18 chapter, pick this up at verse 1.
Now Jehoshaphat had riches and honor in abundance, and joined affinity with Ahab. And after certain years, he went down to Ahab to Samaria. And Ahab killed sheep and oxen for him in abundance, and for the people that he had with him, and persuaded him to go up with him to Gilead. Okay. And Ahab, king of Yasharel, said unto Jehoshaphat, king of Yahudah, wilt thou go with me to Ramoth Gilead? And he answered him, I am as thou art, and my people as thy people, and we will be with thee in the war.
How about that? So here it is that Ahab, this Ahab with that wicked wife, Jezebel, and him cooking up with Jehoshaphat, and now they come together, and now they're inquiring about going against Ramoth Gilead. Verse 4.
And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Yasharel, inquire, I pray thee, at the word of Yahuwah today. Therefore the king of Yasharel gathered together the prophets 400 men, and said unto them, shall we go into Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, go up, for Elohim will deliver it into the king's hand. But Jehoshaphat said, is there not a prophet of Yahuwah beside, that we might inquire of him?
That's really interesting. So they knew, even though it didn't say it, that these prophets were not prophets of Yah. But somehow, some kind of way, they were there in Israel, and they should not even been in Israel. But that's what we done came to, right? 400, man. 400 Baptist preachers. But Jehoshaphat said, look, man, what kind of slipshod organization you got going on here? I said, you got a prophet of Yah here that we might inquire of him? Here's the crazy part, verse 7. Let me see.
And the king of Yasharel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man by whom ye may inquire of Yahuwah, but I hate him, for he never prophesied good unto me, but always evil. The same as Micaiah, the son of Imlah. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Yasharel called for one of his officers and said, fetch quickly Micaiah, the son of Imlah. And the king of Yasharel and Jehoshaphat, king of Yahudah, sat either of them on his throne, clothed in their robes, and they sat in a void place at the entering of the gate of Samaria. And all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah, the son of Shemaiah, had made him horns of iron, and said, thus said Yahuwah, with these that shall push Syria until they be consumed. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for Yahuwah shall deliver it unto the hands of the king.
So it's just like us to make a drama out of it, right? He done went and made a horns of iron, y'all, just to dramatically show that whatever God that they worshiping is gonna deliver them Syria. And all the prophets like, hey, hallelujah Baal, hallelujah whatever God that they were worshiping. So it definitely wasn't Yah. Go ahead.
And the messenger that went to call Micaiah spake to him, saying, behold, the words of the prophets declare good to the king, with one assent. Let the word, therefore, I pray thee, be like one of theirs, and speak thou good. And Micaiah said, as Yahuwah liveth, even what my Elohim said, that I will speak.
Okay, hey, real quick, because I'm on line right now, and I see my sister is online, so I just want to shout her out real quick.
I put it on.
Huh?
If someone was looking for her,
I said, yeah.
I put it No, but you can say.
Oh, you told her?
I put a note. I
Yeah.
just put a note. I didn't.
Yeah, I've been trying to hit you up too, so I don't know if your phone is changed or whatever. But definitely hit me up, sis. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And when he was to come to the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go unto Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And he said, Go ye up and prosper, and they shall be delivered into your hand. And the king said to him, How many times shall I adjure thee that thou say nothing but the truth to me in the name of Yahuwah? Then he said,
So why y'all think that he did that?
Because they know that when the king know that normally when the person talks to him, he always has that.
Well, yeah, but this time he was giving him good news.
Say you trying to trick me or something.
Then you probably think you're trying to trick him.
Right. But I'm saying, why do you think that Micaiah said what he said? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, because Micaiah, I think, with the other meeting with all the other prophets, I think they were just trying to force him into it.
Okay. So you would say it might have been by fear? Because he's, again, the odd man out against 400 other prophets, right? And now, when he was just dealing with them one-on-one, he's like, hey, I'm only going to speak what the Father tells me to do. But then he looked and saw this great big assembly and saw them two kings sitting up there on their thrones side by side. Seemed like he might have got shook for a minute, huh?
Yeah.
That could have been what it was. He was, man, got shaken for a minute. Because that's what happens. Sometimes when you're in them situations, it might scare you a little bit. You know, but then when you come to yourself, you're able to fight your way out of that situation. So that's what he did. Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for Yahuwah shall deliver it into the hand of the king. That's not what the Father said, but that's what came out of his mouth. Read that 12 again.
And the messengers that went to call Micaiah spake to him, saying, Behold, the words of the prophet declare good to the king.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that's what the prophet said. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. The prophet said that. And so now the messenger's trying to wire up, as the term goes, Micaiah, to let him know what he's in the midst of. Go ahead.
Now,
Micaiah spake to him, saying, in 12.
okay. Yeah. Micaiah spake to him, saying, Behold, the words of the prophet declare good to the king, with ones are said, that word, therefore I pray, be like unto one of theirs to speak thou.
Right, I kind of jumped ahead, and I thought that was Micaiah speaking, but now he's speaking.
Right. And Micaiah said, as Yahuwah liveth, even what my Elohim said, that I will speak.
Uh-huh.
And when he was coming to the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go over Mount Gilead to battle, or shall I prepare? And he said, Go ye up and prosper, and they shall be delivered into your hand.
Right, so that's what I meant to ask, why y'all think he said that.
Right.
He said just what the messenger told him to say. Go ahead.
And the king said to him, How many times shall I adjure thee that thou say nothing but the truth to me in the name of Yahuwah?
Ain't that something? He don't even worship Yah, but he's adjuring the prophet how many times he told him to say nothing but the truth. So somehow he knew innately that, oh, Yah didn't say this. Because in his mind, in his subconscious, he saying this prophet hate me, right? But really what you're saying is Yah hate me too. Because in his mind, when the prophets, Micaiah said what he said, the first thing that he came up with, ain't no way in the world Yah said that. It's impossible. Y'all don't like me like that. So why you
White lion.
huh?
Lion.
No, what's the term they use now?
Just said a little white lie.
Oh, you said white lie?
You know, I say white captain.
What you say? You said,
Oh, I said white lion,
oh, white lie?
but he said white lion.
Huh? Yeah, Captain. I was going for gaslighting.
Oh.
Why you gaslight me?
I've never heard that.
You never heard of gaslighting?
Oh.
That's not.
Y'all made that word up.
Y'all.
Y'all.
I'm gonna punch you.
No, seriously, no. Every other movie got somebody gaslighting somebody. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Then he said, I did see all Yasharel scattered upon the mountain, as sheep that have no shepherd. And Yahuwah said, these have no master. Let them return, therefore every man to his house in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Yasharel said to Jehoshaphat, did I not tell you that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil?
That's that rockiness you hear tell that you was talking about. So at first he's gonna rebuke the man for not saying what thus says Yah. And now when he's speaking what thus says Yah, he turned around to the king, the Jehoshaphat, said, didn't I tell you to do Holy Ghost prophesy bad against me? Go ahead. So that's why he was upset. Because he had already told Jehoshaphat that this dude hate me. And now he gonna come and do the exact opposite of what he said to the king. And so he gonna rebuke him and say, man, come on, man. Why you lying? Yeah, I told you to speak nothing but what y'all said. He said what y'all said. Now he back and see. There you go right there. I told you. This is crazy. Go ahead.
And he said, therefore, hear the word of Yahuwah. I saw Yahuwah sitting upon his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. And Yahuwah said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Yasharel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth-Gilead? And one spake, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. Then came out a spirit and said, and stood before Yahuwah and said, I will entice him. And Yahuwah said unto him, well. And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
All these prophets.
And Yahuwah said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so.
And I ain't mad if anybody think that this might have been Satan up there among them. Because that's what he did. He did that in Job's day, right? Came up among the sons of Elohim. He could have been like, hey, me. I'm that one that do this type of stuff. This ain't no job for Gabriel, for Mikael. This has got my name all over it. I'm gonna be that lying spirit in the mouth of all. How many of them down there? 400? Oh man, that's short work right there. Go ahead.
Now therefore, behold, Yahuwah has put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and Yahuwah has spoken evil against thee.
See, so he came in there and first he's like, hey, look, go on up. You shall forbear, whatever. But once he got in himself, he was able to speak nothing but what the Most High said. And if he had any fear for those 400 prophets, it was all gone, man. Look, I'm going to tell you even more so. I saw the Father sitting on his throne, and he went and sent an angel, a lion spirit, and put him in every last one over there, T.D. Jackson over there, Dollar over there, all these cats out. He pointing them all out. All of them got a lion spirit. His Bernie Mac was, I ain't scared of you.
Ain't scared.
Go ahead. Kick it.
Then Zedekiah, the son of Shemaiah, came near and smote Micaiah upon the cheek, and said, which way went the spirit of Yahuwah from me to speak to you?
Yes, that's what we do. We resort to violence when we can't do nothing else. We done got called out, now we want to fight. And then try to make a joke of it. Which way went the spirit and the ruach of Yahuwah from me to speak unto thee? Go ahead.
And Micaiah said, behold, thou shalt see on that day, for thou shalt go into the inner chamber to hide thyself. Then the king of Yasharel said, take ye Micaiah, and carry him back to Ammon, the governor of the city, and to Joash, the king's son, and say, thus said the king, put this fellow in the prison and feed him with bread of affliction and with water of affliction until I return in peace. And Micaiah said, if thou certainly return in peace, then hath not Yahuwah spoken by me?
Simple as that.
And he said, hearken all ye people. So the king of Yasharel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Yahudah, went up unto Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Yasharel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and will go into the battle, but put on thy robes. So the king of Yasharel disguised himself, and they went to the battle. Now the king of Syria had commanded the captains of the chariots that were with him, saying, fight ye not with small or great, save only with the king of Yasharel. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, it is the king of Yasharel. Therefore they compassed about him to fight. But Jehoshaphat cried out, and Yahuwah helped him, and Elohim moved him to depart from him. For it came to pass that when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Yasharel, they turned back again from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture and smote the king of Yasharel between the joints of the harness. Therefore he said to his chariot man, turn thy hand that thou mayest carry me out of this host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day. Howbeit, the king of Yasharel stayed himself up in a chariot against the Syrians until the evening. And about the same time of the sun going down, he died.
Right. Now, in my humble opinion, Jehoshaphat, he should have been dead too. Well, I shouldn't even say an opinion, it's just a statement. Because he had no business going up there with Ahab. But the Father in his mercy delivered Jehoshaphat. Just to, I guess, make a specific point to him, teaching him a lesson that this could have been you. This could have been you dying too. But I'm delivering you, and I'm only going to kill the wicked one, King Ahab. But the point is that Micaiah, one of the prophets of the Most High, he was few in number, and he had to do something that other men could not have done. And as a result of that, man, he was cast into prison for doing the work of the Most High. Because guess what? That's how it is when you serving Yah in a environment that is not conducive to the service of Yah.
Yeah.
All right. I got a few more here. We're gonna get through real quick, y'all. Matthew the 7th chapter. Week 48, okay. Matthew the 7th chapter. But that's what we're dealing with, y'all. We're dealing with the few, the elect, and the remnant, showing how the Father operates, and he operates through the few. All right. Matthew 7th chapter, which one of y'all want to start off with? 13th verse.
13?
Uh-huh.
Oh, here.
Oh, okay. So we're in Matthew 7th chapter. Matthew 7 and verse 13.
Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go in therein. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth into life, and few there be that find.
So this whole dynamic has not changed at all. When the Father said way back in Genesis, he said he saw that, I'm trying to paraphrase it, what he say? I'm paraphrasing, that the wickedness of man was great upon the earth. The wickedness of man had never not been great on this earth. So this is the reason why Yeshua is saying even at this time, and for those of us that have knowledge and understanding, we know that it's the same thing even right now. Right now, that wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So the Father had to sanctify each and every one of us to teach us the truth so that we're able to make a discernment between the righteous and the wicked. Okay? So we were all at one time in that wide gate. Huh?
Right.
But we didn't know we was in that wide gate. But when the Father gave us knowledge and understanding, we're able to see. Straight is that gate, and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few, y'all, the few, the elect, the remnant, there be that find it. All right? Luke 13 chapter.
Ooh.
Huh? Moving right along, yeah. Moving right along.
What happened?
13. Luke 13 chapter. Oh, I'm about to say, that's not it. Hold on, Luke 13 chapter. Right, pick this up at verse. Hold on one second. Something else. Pick this up at the 18th verse.
13, 18. Then said he, unto what is the kingdom of Elohim like? And whereunto shall I resemble it? It is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and cast into his garden, and it grew, and it waxed a great tree, and the fowls of the air lodged in the branches of it. Lodged in the branches of it. And again he said, whereunto shall I liken the kingdom of Elohim? It is like leaven, when a woman took and hid the 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. And he went through the city and the villages, teaching and journeying towards Jerusalem. Then said one unto him, Master, are there few that may be saved? And he said unto them, strive to enter into the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in, and shall not be able. When once the master of the house is rising up, and has shut the door, and ye begin to stand without, and to knock at the door, saying, Master, Master, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I know not whence you are. Then shall ye begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not which ye are. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity.
Ain't that something? Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when ye shall see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of Elohim, and you yourselves dressed out. And they shall come from the east and from the west, and from the north and from the south, and shall sit down in the kingdom of Elohim. And behold, there are last which shall be first, and there are first which shall be last.
Mm-hmm. We're going to read that again, but the way that Matthew reads it, go to Matthew 9th chapter. Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, we're going to read this, but that's in 20 something, and that this what we just read is. I like the way that reads. But anyway, we're in Matthew the 9th chapter. Pick this up at the 35th verse.
And Yeshua went about all the city and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore that the master of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. That's the end of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so,
10.
no, that's cool,
Okay.
that's cool. Uh-huh. All right, let's go on to Matthew, the 20th chapter. I was trying to read what that second what we just read, and Luke. You say Matthew 8?
Are you talking about the nationalities?
When concerning
The
that
straight
many
gate.
shall come from the north, east, and the south,
Oh,
but
okay.
you children of Abraham. In there, anyway, in that verse it said, but you children of Abraham. Oh, I think that's in John actually. But you children of Abraham shall be cast out, but there be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That might be John, but that's that. I tell you what.
You said the east and the west.
Say it
You
again?
something about the east and the west?
Yeah,
Oh, I saw that in Matthew 8 and 11.
Matthew
And I
8 and
say to
11.
you that many shall come from the east and the west.
Right,
and shall
okay,
bow
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the one I was looking at.
Okay.
It started at verse 10.
Yeah.
Matthew 8, verse 10.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, that's it right there. Then let's just read that in full, real quick.
Started with
Matthew,
10.
start this at I'm not sure read that whole story because that's crucial. Verse 5. Mhm.
And when Yeshua would enter into Capernaum,
Capernaum.
I'm sorry,
What?
Capernaum.
okay, Capernaum.
Go, Joe.
Capernaum, then came unto him a centurion, beseeching him, and saying, Master, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Yeshua said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Master, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. When Yeshua heard it, he marveled and said unto them that followed, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Yasharel. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east
So
and
real
west.
quickly, this was a Gentile that he was dealing with right here. You know, we like to make a whole doctrine out of Yeshua calling this woman a dog in John. And when she humbled herself to him, he in kind had to humble himself to her and bore witness that her faith was great among any that was in Israel. So now he's dealing with a centurion here who's showing them the exact same faith. But the centurion, he gave a little bit more respect to that woman. Because the centurion was a man of power. And he let it be known. He told Yahshua, said, look, do you understand? I'm not just a term they say old school, some fool, but I say that this man go and he goes, another man go and he goes. I got authority now, but I'm just putting that out, I'm just putting that out there. So Yahshua, what I got to deal with the way they all the disciples dealt with that woman. I just thought that was interesting.
Well, I kind of, this is but the same basis, basically. I like the fact that even though he let the authority be known after he already committed his faith. Because he was like, just tell me and I'll go ahead and do it.
Right.
Because
Right.
I'm already, I know like then it came to one he was like, okay, well you gonna be healed. Then he was like, yeah, 'cause, you know, I do got this kind of clout now. I can't do this, I can't do that, whatever. And I say whatever I say, go for it. I say, but he didn't bring that up first.
Right.
You know, he still
So that,
he still kind of see where he surprised him by doing it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, dang. Say nobody in Israel, because everybody in Israel would have been like first day really been saying, hold up, I got this part, I'm like I'm bloodline, I'm ethnicity and all this.
Right.
And he, you know, even that wasn't the case, but still,
Mm-hmm.
he said, no, I still have some kind of authority, but he didn't put it out there first.
Right. Okay.
Nice reason.
Mm-hmm. So where we at?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. We was on 11.
Okay.
And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And Yahshua said unto the centurion, go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so it be done unto thee.
Mm-hmm.
And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour.
Wow. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's go into the book of Isaiah, y'all. We're gonna close out on the book of Isaiah. I'm gonna be reading this again, but I'm trying to get to a specific part. Yeah, Isaiah 1 picked us up at verse 8.
What chapter?
Isaiah
Chapter 1,
chapter 1,
verse 8.
verse 8.
And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in the garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except Yahuwah of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we would have been as in Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
So that's what I wanted to leave y'all with right there. That it's only the remnant, the righteous remnant, that's even allowing there still to be an Israel to this day. Because if it wasn't for that remnant, man, Israel would have been out of here. So that's who the Father's still dealing with to this day, y'all. The few, the elect, and the remnant.
Oh, you didn't read there's not little flock?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in here. That's in Luke the what?
I forgot what it was.
This is the book of Luke. I was gonna read that. It was just that one verse though.
Yeah,
Yeah, fear not, little flock, for the Father have.
it's your father goodwill.
It's your Father's goodwill. Right, to give you the kingdom. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. But anyway.
Great lesson,
Hallelujah.
Look at the view.
I know, all
We're
praise.
here.
So again, as always, may the Father add a blessing for the reading of his word in Yahshua's name. Hallelujah. All right, so we're gonna stand, face Yahuwah, close out.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Our Father who's in heaven, set apart is your name. Allow your kingdom come, your will be done, as in heaven and on earth. Father, we ask you to give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into trial, but deliver us from the wicked one. For yours is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this work that you've given us, Father. The reassurance of knowing that you are dealing with us, Father. We ask that you help us not to take this for granted, Father, but to grasp it and understand it, Father, that we may walk forward in righteousness. And Father, and spread your word, become the light of the world and the salt of the earth, Father, that we may lead those who are diligent, who are willing to hunger and thirst after you, Father. Give us the heart, give us a clean heart that we may serve you, Father. You will renew our mind with rock, Hakadash, Father. You did not take it away from us, but Father, fill us up. Continue to keep us, lead us, and guide us. Yeshua HaMashiach, we pray. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.